Hello, my lovelies. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Tony. Here I react to all kinds of music, most importantly, my alt groups SB19, Got 7, Ace, and B2B. And a bunch more groups that I absolutely have been enjoying the journey with. If you enjoy my videos, then please consider liking the video and also subscribing to my channel, and make sure to turn on those alerts so that way you get notified of whenever I post a video. I also have additional content on my Patreon if you're interested. There are different tiers in Patreon. You can go check it out, where I have different tiers for survival shows versus album listens versus reality variety show content, and also dramas. Each tier will tell you what content is currently available to watch, and also album listens are available for a one-time purchase if you do not want to subscribe to the tier but instead just want to watch a one-off album review, album listen. I hope you guys enjoy my reactions, and other than that, let's get on to the video. What is up, everyone? Welcome back to my channel. Oh, finally, I'm getting caught up on a lot of things today. I Work has been super busy, and I just have not had time to get to like extra content and stuff. So I'm finally getting to Jackson's music video. I know, relatively speaking, like this came out not that long ago, but usually I would have been on top of this, but I've just been so busy that like I've just been trying to keep up with regular uploads. You know what I mean, and haven't been able to get to anything extra. So I'm really excited to get to Jackson's High Alone music video, as he starts his journey with Magic Man 2, which I'm also very excited about. I think that Magic Man 2 is going to be very raw and real, just from like what I've heard and what I've seen from like Jackson's tweets and stuff like that, about his journey and his personal feelings. And I think he's going to be very vulnerable, with this comeback. And I think we're going to see a lot of sides of Jackson that we have not seen before, because I think Jackson's always someone that's a bit, happy-go-lucky, and, especially Got7 era, not Got7 era, but like his younger days in Got7, like I just constantly, like he just constantly has a smile on his face, and he's like, fun and funny, and that kind of sunshine vibe. But usually people who are like that tend to like actually be going through the most emotionally. So I think there's probably a lot of things that Jackson hides, that we don't know about. So I think this is going to be very in depth, and kind of on the lines of Mark's The Other Side album. I feel like The Other Side album was Mark's, like, him being vulnerable and showing, sides of himself that he's never really shown before, um, about his journey as an idol, his friends, his relationships, and things like that. So I feel like this is probably going to be similar to that. Um, and I wanna put my full focus into this, because I you just have to appreciate A, the vulnerability, and B, the thoughts, feelings, and time and energy that he probably put into this. So I really wanted to get to the music video as quickly as possible. So here I am. We're finally getting to it. I know Jackson tends to have a lot of like symbolism and things like that going on in his music videos that I don't always catch on to. So, I mean, I can interpret it, the way that I see things, but um I may not catch on to everything. So, if you want to provide more context in the comments, I very much would appreciate it. I always love, reading those comments. I can like understand things a bit more clearly that I might have missed, and stuff like that. So I always appreciate that. Anyways, let's hop into the music video because I'm very, very interested. And it's like a 5-minute music video, so it's gonna be like a film. I know it because that's just how Jackson is. VHS. We're in the Stone Age. No, I'm just kidding.
People only judge you from your past. But no one knows what's in your mind. Until you do.
Interesting. I knew the cinematography was going to be really, really good. I think, I think, I think with Magic Man, Jackson has always kind of been showing that Jackson has always kind of been showing, that persona that one has to show as an idol, right? Like, you always have to show, like, the magic and, like, the perfection and the, um, I don't know, like, the things that come with being an idol, right? Like, there's just certain things that you shouldn't show fans or that you shouldn't show the public. You know what I mean? Like, it's very fake and two-faced at times, I think, for sure, absolutely, especially when you have a company controlling what you do and what you say and how you do it and, everything like that. Whereas, we have the real Jackson that's hidden away in this, dark, dank room, you know, um, dealing with all of the emotions that he's dealing with that he can't really show on the outside because it's not kosher to show as an idol to show those things, you know what I mean? You always have to be on and perfect all the time, you know? So, I think I think me personally, that's how I always saw Magic Man. Um, I don't know, like, how true that is, but I don't know, that's just how I always, like, thought about it in my mind. Um, and I don't know if that's, what he's showing in this music video, but with how things are, I don't know, I just with him being Magic Man and putting on a show and, the crowd, sitting here watching him, but then the real Jackson is back in that room, you know what I mean? Like, dealing with all of his depression and anxiety and, you know, and I think as an idol, you really have to learn to compartmentalize, right? And sometimes compartmentalizing is not always healthy. So I don't know, I just that's how I see it, but
Who I'm supposed to get lost with? Remember we would dream, now I live it. Plunk along don't make sense. Baby, let's restart, fuck the past tense. Who I'm supposed to go fly with? But my baby let me down, babe. You're the only one that I see. In the morning I wanna feel you. Won't you just tell me what's new? Fuck all the other shit. As long as I'm in it with you. My heart is broke. Just bring me home. Need you to see me. I feel I'm losing it. Can't be in this world alone.
Mm. Mm. I think this also kinda shows, like, especially with Jackson, like, looking at himself in the mirror and becoming Magic Man, I think it's also, like, a huge identity crisis, you know what I mean? Like, who am I really? Am I the Jackson that everybody sees on the stage, or am I me? You know what I mean? Like, I can't imagine, like, how hard it is to identify yourself, because like, when you really think about it, right, like, these idols train so early in life. I mean, they're starting training at, like, 14, 15, you know what I mean? Some even debuting at 16, even younger sometimes. Those are your years where you're still developing, right? Like, your brain is still developing, you're still considered, a young adult, a teen, you're still learning about the world and how you fit into the world, and, it's like your major development era, right? I think your brain does the most development. Oh my gosh, I took, uh I took, like, a psych development class, and I'm blanking on what years it is, but I wanna say it's from, like, puberty up until, like, 18, I think is, like, your most critical years of development. Correct me if I'm wrong on that. It's been a while since I've taken, like a development class, but I'm pretty sure those are, like, that's around that time period is, like, when your brain is developing the most, and you're learning about yourself, and you're learning about your relationships and how you fit into the world, and, I just and could you imagine, like, that being stunted by instead putting like, basically working? I mean, they're basically starting a job at the age of, like, 13, 14. You know what I mean? I mean, they're training day in and day out, um, some trying to finish their education on top of that, and there's really no time for a social life, there's really no time for, fun extracurriculars, or I mean, they really don't have a normal growing up, Like, I can't even imagine, like, the psychological trauma that idols have. from not having a normal childhood, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know, I just there's no time to find your identity. There's no time to really think about, your likes and your dislikes and who you are as a person, because you're just so focused on your career. Um, I don't know, I can't even imagine. I can't like I learned a lot about myself throughout my high school years, you know what I mean? And that continued into college as well. I mean, and you continued to do that, but I think high school and college are like the most critical years of like where you're developing and, trying to find yourself, you know what I mean? Um and these idols never had that. So I think it probably affects them a lot, and I don't know, that's this whole scene just reminds me of that, like, just having an identity crisis because you never had time to find yourself, you know what I mean? But I don't know, it's crazy. It's crazy to think about. They're all just watching him struggle. Not the tapping on the glass. Oh man. Wow. The deepest wounds are not from your what? What does that say? Are not from your enemies? Oh. I mean, absolutely. Oh, what, like 100%. What I agree with that 100%. I think I think the things that people have done to me that I dislike and was never friends with is way less prominent in my mind than like people that I called friends that have betrayed me and my trust. You know what I mean? Absolutely 100%. Whenever you give your trust and, your all to your friends and people that you become close to in life and they betray that, that's the worst thing in the world. It really is. Like it hits really hard, like absolutely. Oh, and it's like I don't know. To me, I feel like Jackson's just saying like some people just see me as a commodity. You know what I mean? And not a real person with thoughts, feelings, opinions, you know what I mean? And just someone that they can take from and take advantage of. You know what I mean? Whether that's for their own pure entertainment, whether that's for, fame, whether that's for money, whatever it might be, but it's not for the genuine friendship of, yeah, of being friends with Jackson. Like Man. I knew it was going to be deep. I knew it was going to be just from Jackson's tweet that I read, like I knew that it was going to be very vulnerable, man. And 100% it was. 100% it was. I think there's so much to I think there's so much to take from this music video. And this is only like, the beginning of Magic Man 2, so I can't even imagine what he has planned for, the rest of this journey. Like I Oh, he put a comment. Hold on. All my life I never really told you who I truly am, how I really feel. Maybe it's not something people want to listen to. Maybe it's not something people even care about. I've spent the last year understanding the Jackson I've always been avoiding. Let me tell you the truth I see. It's all in this album. Let the story begin. That's sad. Oh, sometimes sometimes I think we only see what we want to see in people, especially idols that we put on like a pedestal, or you know what I mean? Like, and we just put expectations on them and, just see them as these like perfect perfect people, and it's just so far from the truth, you know what I mean? When you put expectations like that onto someone, you know, then they feel like they're responsible to keep to that expectation, but then it puts so much pressure on them, and they can't just be a normal human being, and it's not fair. It's not fair to them at all. But yeah, I also think another huge part of this is like the industry, like the music industry in general, and how they just literally let all of that happen, to Jackson, and being stuck in the and it's like, even though he's struggling and even though he's dying, we're making money off of it and it's entertainment. So we're just going to let it happen, because these entertainment companies do not care about these artists. They care about making their money, and that's all that it's about. And it's just really, really frustrating. You know what I mean? And I just can't even imagine. I can't even imagine like what all they went through as trainees, to idols, to branching out on their own, to now today, like what's going on in the world. But yeah, I knew that was gonna be deep. I knew it. I again, like I would love to hear your thoughts and theories as always. Maybe there were things that I missed. I'm sure there were. I'm sure there were things that I missed. But I think at the end of the day, like this really shows Jackson's vulnerability and the experience that he's had with the music industry, with people that he thought were friends but were not, with identity, um with being an idol and what comes with that, for sure. For sure. Like I see all of those things in this music video. But yeah. All right, guys. I man, like I think Jackson, I think GOT7 in general is just like every single member. I just always wish them the best. Like I think Jackson and Bam Bam in particular are the ones that I always see get the most hate for literally no reason. So I think Jackson and Bam Bam are in particular are like the members that I'm just so like so protective of, I guess you could say, because I just they're the sweetest people, so it just, like, blows my mind that people just show them so much hate. But yeah. Anyways, I would love to hear your guys' thoughts as always, and other than that, I hope you guys stay safe, stay healthy, be yourselves, and have a good day. Bye, guys.